on standard, then I'll go up to high.
All right, rock and roll.
All right.
All right. I'm excited for you, first time driving around.
I'm excited as well.
So there's a stop sign up there.
Okay.
We'll stop there for, you know, the obligatory stop. No California rolls.
Test this regen.
Yeah, exactly. And that's standard.
That's pretty good for standard.
And then we're 20 miles an hour here, so we're an all-purpose standard. So when I talk about the drive modes, the way I like to describe them is as recipes, each drive mode, meaning there's different ingredients, right? So we have ride, can either be soft or stiff as a default for a certain mode, the height, the steering feeling, and the pedal, you know, mapping, the way it feels, more aggressive, a little bit softer, depending on what you're in. So all-purpose is kind of your 80-20 mode. I stay in it most of the time in my truck, driving on regular paved roads.
The suspension is really nice though.
It's obviously it's torque vectoring depending on, you know, what needs to be applied. Right now it's not really doing too much heavy lifting. You'll see more of that when you're in like rock roll, and you're really trying to pull yourself up and over rocks and boulders.
these cooling seats are definitely cooling, but it's like such an interesting feeling that I'm not super used to.
It's a different sensation, right?
It is.
It's like, is my shirt wet? Am I okay?
Yeah, it reminds me of like a cooling pillow or something.
Yeah, but it feels good on your lower back especially. Yeah.
And these R1Ts all have the standard pack with the 300.
So these are all large pack. R1Ts here at this event. That's the 135 kilowatt battery pack and rated at 314 miles by the EPA.
And is that max pack available for like current orders? Like
it's available to order.
Okay.
It's going to be later availability for delivery.
Okay. Would that affect people's deliveries, or would that be something that could be retrofitted?
It's not a retrofit item, so it would impact that initial delivery. If someone's looking for a truck sooner, recommendation is large pack. If that over 400 miles of range is something you're really looking for in your R1T, we recommend ordering it, and then you'll have to hang tight a little longer.
Got it.
So we're going to head back to the pavement.
Okay.
And I'm going to start switching us into sport mode here.
Let's do it.
Currently now, we're still in standard regen, but I switched to sport, which means we're now at our lowest ride height, which is 9.5 inches. We'll hang here for a second just because I was explaining some of this. We'll switch it to stiff, and this is where we'll get to do a launch. We'll do 2 pulls. That was kind of the fun surprise. So we're going to go 0 to 60. We're going to pull back to maybe about 50, 50 or 40, and then pull again, and then launch again rather, and go up to about 65, 70, and then just let off and we'll regen. Just give me a 3, 2, 1, and whenever you're ready to go.
Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Miles an hour, and we're going to test some of our driver plus features. And so we have highway assist at the top, which is we're using our capacitive touch steering wheel, but it actually will steer for you. You just kind of keep your hands gently at the bottom. So we'll do that first, and then we'll switch out of that, disengage that, and then we'll engage adaptive cruise control. And that is actually level 1. So it's just cruise control with the ability to kind of stop and go in traffic, which is pretty awesome. Actually, I use it quite often. Cool. Rock and roll whenever you're ready. Let's roll.
So you see the icon, half and then full. Oh, got one more. Half and then full. It's just everybody's very delicate because they don't want to like mess anything up, and just go push it down. We just want to make sure that the interaction is intentional, which is why we didn't want it to be very like a light touch. So you can actually take your hands for a second off the wheel here. It will ask you to put your hands back on the wheel. Our steering wheel, like I said, is capacitive touch, and what that means, we'll actually just do highway assist. We'll do ACC on the way around.
Okay.
So we'll disengage it now because we're ready to go. All right. So the only difference here now is we're going to go into off-road. and we'll be in off-road auto, actually not rock crawl. And off-road auto, similar to all-purpose, is kind of your 80 for your 20 when it comes to off-roading. Unless you're really doing heavy rock crawling, you can probably stay in auto, and maybe you switch between high and standard. Max is usually when you're in rock crawl, so to be in auto and max, you can. There's certain situations that would warrant that, but usually you can stay in standard or high, and we'll switch to high.
Okay.
And we'll leave it also on soft.
Okay.
And then the other thing, the last one, is we'll switch to high regen, because there'll be some hill descent opportunities, and it'll be really nice to see that as we go down.
Wonderful.
Cool.
All right.
Rock and roll. That's all
As
you.
the screen says, nature awaits us.
It does. It does.
Let's avoid that.
Yeah.
What's your level of confidence with off-roading sort of coming into this?
No, I've been off and I've been on a road, so
So you'll feel a little bit difference in off-road versus all-purpose when we did this the first time. I don't know if you'll remember exactly.
feels more stiff.
Yes, exactly. And there is an opportunity as well. You can leverage. One of my favorite pieces is the cameras on the side here.
Oh, wow.
Is to actually see, where your tires are landing,
That's very
which is really helpful, especially when it comes to rocks. So it can take it, if we do end up in the rut. So we want to try to avoid it if we can. But you're doing great.
Thanks. Am I hired?
Rock and roll.
Tackles this thing like it's nothing.
Yeah, as we'll be riding on pavement.
Yeah. You can notice the height too.
Yes. Yeah, we're at 13.1 right now. You just don't really feel, because of the damping, the bumps in the same way you would in some other types of vehicles.
Good thing I got this air conditioning on my back. I'm starting to sweat.
You're doing great.
Vehicle.
You're doing great, really.
Oh, you're fine now.
Yeah, really. And I turned the camera on here so you can kind of see a little bit as we go downhill. Kind of roller coaster-ish.
Okay.
So, but one of the things you can test here as we start to go down is the regen.
And this is, do you have it on standard or stiff?
I have it on high.
Okay.
Yeah. You can let off the accelerator for a second and see it'll actually hold. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I just feel like the camera gives you a bit of extra confidence, that
Absolutely.
you're, there's ground there. You're not driving off a cliff, but
yeah, especially something like this where your front end is up.
yes,
Kind
you
of blocking
really
your
can't
view.
see.
Yeah.